Hey everyone, and welcome to today's webinar limited to Legendary with MAPS coach Rachel Adams. Please note that this webinar is being recorded and you will automatically receive the webinar recording. If you have any questions for your coach, please hold them till the end of the webinar and we'll take about 10 minutes and review those questions there, and you can put them into the questions box located in your webinar taskbar. If there's any administrative questions that I can answer throughout the call, please feel free to type them into the webinar and I will answer them as we go. Following the webinar, if you have any questions about today's call or coaching programs, please email us at fasttrack@kw.com. That is fasttrack@kw.com. That's all for me. Rachel, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. How are you guys? Okay, I'm going to turn it on so I can see what you guys are saying as you're asking. Okay, so first and foremost, good morning. I'm so excited to be here with you. It is currently 8:01 in the morning, Pacific time. I am in Northern California right now. So those of you that are tuning in, tell me where you are. I'm in my home office here in Northern California. I just put up new background, you guys can see. I used to have like a kind of a yellow tree. I feel like it's important to freshen it up for you every now and again. So those of you that are watching, tell me where you are coming in from so I can make sure this chat box is working. Oh, cool. Good morning. We've got Lorelei here, Fred, Jennifer. Awesome. North Carolina. We got you guys all over the place. Cool. Okay, good. So I'm so excited to connect with you this morning. I know a lot of you know who I am and some of you don't. So I am going to share with you, you didn't even know what this webinar is about, and there's over 600 of you on today, which is really cool. It makes me feel real good and smushy. Also, today we're talking all things buyer objection handlers, because I feel like, buyers are the lifeblood of our business, right? Buyers and sellers, that's how we grow. That's what we do. That's why we do what we do. So that being said, I wanted to make sure for you guys that you are really covered and you feel really comfortable with buyers, because there's a lot of competition when it comes to buyers, and I want to make sure that you feel really good, because buyers are going to be a big part of your business. So today what I wanted to do is something a little different webinar series. We're literally just focusing specifically on the buyer objection handlers. So let me share with you a little bit about my background, who I am, and then we're going to dig in. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And then also, you guys, as you have questions, you're just so sweet. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I've got Leslie, Philip, Amanda, all these fun people here. So as we go through this, if you have questions, put them in the chat box, and then our MAPS admin is going to be checking things out for you and just kind of taking note of your questions. And at the very end, I'll have some time to address them. My plan is to rock with you guys for probably like 30 to 45 minutes, and then I'm going to log off. So we're going to have a really good morning together. I know some of your East Coast, some of your West Coast, either wherever you are, it's going to be awesome. Okay, let me share my screen with you. Everybody can see my screen? Give me a thumbs up that you can. No problem on being here a little bit late. Guys, this is real estate agents, so unfortunately I expect it. Awesome. Okay, you guys can see. So I'm going to move my camera because I don't need to see me. I need to see you guys. Okay, so we're talking buyer objection handlers today. So let me just share with you guys. So first and foremost, my name's Rachel Adams Lee. And I've been in real estate about 7 years now. So I got in the real estate industry in February of 2012. I was working a full-time job at the time, and I was actually working, I was unlicensed. So I'm sitting at the front desk of a real estate office, and I'm seeing all these paychecks coming through, right? And they're way more money than I'm making. I think it was like 14 or 15 an hour. And, my grandma was a real estate broker. My dad was a real estate broker. And I always said I would never, ever go into real estate. Famous last words, right? And, I mean, you guys know a lot of my personal story, so I'll save that part. However, I wanted to change. I wanted more for my life. So I started at Keller Williams in February of 2012. I started my business really old school. I door knocked 200 doors a week. Did 3 open houses a week. As you can imagine, that takes a little bit of time to get some leads going. But imagine that, like, we don't want to do lead gen, 200 doors knocking, 3 open houses every week. Like, it is quite the commitment. And within 3 years, I was able to hit top 1,000 agents in the whole country. Still have that designation today. We are 7 years in. We actually just found out we're number 79 out of 1,000, which is super cool for 2018. And I'm still in production. I'm the lead listing agent on the team. And kind of the way the growth went is it was 39 deals my first year, then 109, then 123. And so that was kind of like the first 3-year craziness. And so one of the things that I really focused on when I was growing was expanding my mindset and scripts and just really feeling like I deserve to be in this business and I'm here for the right reasons, right? So I ended up writing a book to help people get through. So if you're stuck in your life or you feel like you want more out of life, or maybe you, like me, you were coming from a divorce and you just need to find your purpose. I wrote a book called Lost to Found in 90 Days, Your Journey to Self-Discovery and Ultimate Happiness. You can check it out on Amazon. I also am a MAPS coach, which is what we're doing today. So I am super duper passionate about coaching. So I love to just give back to the industry. I do a lot of free webinars. I also have a free YouTube channel. So if you guys go to YouTube/Rachel Adams Lee, there'll be tons of free coaching, as well as I share a little more of my personal life there too, so that's really fun. I am currently married to the most attractive man in America, which is really a good thing. And I have a little side hustle where I sell shampoo, because Gary says the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. So I'm like, why not get in on that? And most recently and most exciting, I am 35 weeks pregnant, you guys. So I don't know if you guys can see this or if it's hard not to, but this is quite happening. So I'm 35 weeks pregnant right now, which is awesome and exciting and crazy. So this is actually gonna be my last webinar that I'm doing for everybody. And then I have like 10 more Skypes in private market centers. And then I'm taking some time off and I'm gonna have a little babe. All right, you guys ready to dig into this? Let's do it. Andy says, my hair looks fantastic. You know the way to my heart. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm basically just going to go through my top buyer objections that I get, and I'm going to overcome them for you guys. So you're going to watch it. You're going to take notes. And then those of you that are watching this webinar, you're going to get a recording of this. So don't stress. Don't be too worried that you're not going to get it. I'm just going to say the buyer objection, and then I'm going to overcome it. Okay. Now, sometimes I'm going to be talking to you guys directly, and sometimes I'll be talking to Mr. Buyer. And I'm going to call Mr. Buyer, I think I'm going to call Mr. Buyer Joe. I feel like we're gonna work with Joe Smith today, because why wouldn't we? And no, that's not what I'm naming my baby, because everyone's trying to find out what we're naming the baby. Oh, and it's a baby boy. We've got a little man in here. Okay, so buyer objection handlers. So number one, I don't need an agent. I'll just call the listing agent, right? They all say that to us. Like, I don't need to go with an actual buyer's agent, right? I don't need to sign a buyer broker. I'm just gonna call the listing agent. And so what I would say is, Mr. Buyer, or, hey, Joe, I totally understand that you don't want to have a real estate agent, because, and I understand, I mean, it is a commitment to, work with someone, and you want to call a listing agent. My only concern is that listing agent, their job is to work for the seller, right? So their job is to get the most money for the seller they possibly can on the market, which means they want as high of a price as possible for that property, because also the higher the price of the property, the more commission they make. Now, truly, I believe that a buyer's or an agent can only really represent one client at one time. So my concern is, if you work with someone who's also representing the seller, then can they really take the best care of you? Because when you are doing that request for repair, they're going to want to save their seller the most money they can. And yet you're going to want to have all the health and safety issues, addressed. And what if there's a bunch of dry rot on the property and they tell the seller, you know what, it's not a big deal, we can just say no? I mean, is it really possible to work with 2 people and be in the best interest of both? I don't think it is. So let's do the right thing. Let's sit down together. Let's talk about how we can work together, because for me, my goal is to get you your dream home with the least amount of stress. And it's going to be great. It's going to be exciting. I'm here for you in this process. But I really feel like you need to have someone who's truly dedicated to you and not working on the best interest of someone else, because your best interest is my best interest. So I'm going to work really hard to find your dream home. All right, that's objection number one. Let's go number two. All right, buyer objection number two. I don't want to pay you so much money to represent me. Okay, so this one I absolutely love, because I'm going to give you two parts to this, and I might become your best friend after I teach you this. So in California, I know you guys all have, okay, so first and foremost question, because I want to keep you guys awake. I don't know if you guys have coffee, so if you do, cheers, good morning to you. And those of you who know me know that I'm legitimately obsessed with pineapples, so they're on my coffee cups. They're also on a lot of the decor in our household. There's like one right behind me. You didn't know you'd get so much personal info on this webinar, did you? You're welcome. Okay, so in California, we have transaction coordinators, right? And those are the people who help, dot the I's and cross the T's and make sure you're legally represented appropriately with all your documentation. So I'm going to teach you a really cool script that I actually use, because when I got into real estate, I told you I was, things were tight financially. I wasn't just paycheck to paycheck. I was paycheck behind a paycheck, and I'm borrowing money from everybody I knew, like family, friends, you name it. And so when I decided that I was going to get into real estate, I was like, I knew that it was like I basically got 6 transactions, and then all of a sudden I could not, I was overwhelmed. I was really overwhelmed, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is too much, right? So I knew that I needed some help, because my job, your job, is to go out there, negotiate deals, build rapport, and get more business. It's not going to be doing the admin tasks such as dotting the I's and crossing the T's. So I hired a transaction coordinator. But the thing was, I don't pay for transaction coordinators, and I have not paid for a transaction coordinator in my career, except if it's a VA loan and the lender kicks it back, or very rare circumstances, okay? So I'm going to give you the script that I use. Granted, all of my wording has been approved by my broker, so you need to do the same depending upon the state you're in. But this is my objection. So I don't want to pay you so much money to represent me. You know what, Mr. Buyer, I totally understand that you don't want to pay a lot of money, because, buying a house, you're going to have closing costs and inspections. And I understand, you've been saving up for this, because this is a big financial choice for you to do this. And I wanted to share something with you. Do you know that you don't actually pay me to help you find a house? They're like, what? I don't know. You actually don't. The only thing you're responsible for paying is a $350 transaction coordination fee, payable to Keller Williams at the time of close, only if and when we close. And what that does is it keeps your file compliant for the Bureau of Real Estate. The seller actually pays my commission. So you actually aren't paying me to help find you a home. So the only thing you're responsible for paying is that $350 transaction coordination fee. It's payable to Keller Williams at the time of close, only if and when we close, and it comes out of your closing costs. And what that does, it keeps your file compliant for the Bureau of Real Estate. Boom, like mic drop, right? This is the thing. People are so worried. Every time I do a buyer broker, we call it buyer broker, val consult, whatever you guys call them. But every time I do that, I am having them sign an exclusive buyer representation agreement, because I'm not going to waste my time, right? And I don't want to waste theirs. And it is so helpful to be able to have a transaction coordinator. So every time that I'm working with a buyer, I go through my whole presentation. So it's like value, 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 sign the contract. Value, 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 sign the contract, right? And for me, it's super helpful, because I feel like the buyer broker, it's exclusive. They know they're working with me. They're not working with any other buyer or any other agent. And if I'm going to take my time showing them property, I want to know that we're exclusively dating, right? Okay. Next one. I want to wait until there's more homes on the market. Okay. I want to wait till there's more homes on the market. Joe, I totally understand that you want to wait until there's more homes on the market, because you're waiting for that perfect house. This is the thing though. I don't have a crystal ball, and you know, the thing is, the perfect house might come on the market, but if you're sitting and you're waiting and you're not prepared, you're not going to get that property, because we're in a really competitive market right now. And there's multiple buyers on the market, and there's not that many sellers. So there's pretty low inventory. And what happens is you're going to be sitting back, and it's going to be 9 o'clock on a Thursday, and you popped open a bottle of wine and you're relaxing and you're drinking your wine, and all of a sudden the house comes up and you're like, oh my gosh, I have to call Rachel, this is the house. Well, the problem is you didn't get pre-qualified because you were waiting until the right house came on the market, right? And now you have to call your lender, get all your documentation together, and pray to heck that we get you approved before they find the offer they're going to take on that home. And most likely it's going to be too late. So what I would suggest is this: let's sit down together. Let's talk about what the market is, what's happening in the market. Let's get you approved with the lender, because that lender, that pre-approval is going to be good for about 6 months, depending upon the type they do, right? And I want to make sure that, you know, when the right house comes on the market, you can have the best chance of getting it. But if we're not prepared, if we don't know what's going to happen, you know, I want to sit down with you and share with you the A's, B's, and C's of buying a house. I want to tell you the costs that are going to come up. I want to tell you what the process looks like. I just want to educate you. Now, I'm not in a rush here, so this is around your schedule, and yet my job is to help find your dream home. So let's go ahead and do that together. All right, on to the next. The prices are going to go down. I saw it on Zillow. I'm going to wait. Zillow, come on. We know. And this is where they're looking, you guys. This is where they are searching for. And so I feel like, you know, if buyers are online and they're looking at Zillow, this is like, that's law for them. They're like, nope, prices are going down. I heard it. I saw it. I read an article. I watched it on the news. And they think that that's like the word of God, right? That's what it is for them. Well, if you're not, like, if you're watching this, you're not a real estate agent. You are a real estate professional, because professionals choose to move forward in their business. Professionals choose to continue their education, which is what you're doing right now. So kudos to you guys. And you are right now, you're practicing your objection handlers. So they're coming to you and they're saying, nope, you know what? I'm not ready. Prices are going down. I saw it on Zillow. I'm going to wait. So what I would say is, yeah, you know, Mr. Buyer, I totally understand wanting to wait, because ultimately you want to get the best deal on a house, right? And that's what I'd want for you too. I mean, if I was buying a house right now, I would absolutely want to have the best deal I possibly could on the market. The problem is, again, the crystal ball analogy. I don't have a crystal ball. And while they say prices are going down, we don't know when they're going down, and we don't know how much they're going down. And my concern is the perfect house is going to come on the market, and you're waiting until that house comes on the market because you want the right, you know, price for it. But if your dream home comes on the market and it can, you know, you can get it right now for $390,000, right? Or maybe it does happen. Maybe prices do go down. Well, they're not going to happen immediately. It's something that happens over time. So maybe it's the end of the year, it goes down by 5,000 or 10,000. That's going to be like a $20 difference, right? Or a $30 difference in your mortgage. And I want you to get the best deal you can. But the problem is, Zillow, what they do is they actually are looking at data that's 18 months old. So with appraisers, what they're looking at is anything that is selling or has sold within the last 6 months, comparable to the house you're going to purchase by bedroom, bathroom, square footage, lot size, and condition. But some of these bigger companies like Zillow, their information isn't totally up to date. And in fact, they're looking 18 months out. So for me, that's a little scary, because if they're looking 18 months out and calling that accurate data, and now they're telling you prices are going down, well, they're not sharing the details of when they're going down. And we don't know exactly what that's going to look like. Real estate's a cyclical market. It goes in a 7-year cycle where it goes up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit. Now, I don't think we're going to be looking at 2008, the downturn where it's really crazy and all the prices are dropping drastically. It might adjust a little bit, and yet that perfect house is going to come up for you. And I know that you want to be in a house at least by the new year. And I just, you know, I feel like we need to sit down and talk about what the market is saying. And then when that house comes up, you're going to be ripe and ready. Again, I'm not in a rush here. I'm here to work around your schedule. And yet my job is also to be honest with you and make sure that I can get you your dream home. What do you think? Okay. All right, so let's keep going. Let's see. We already have that one. Oh, we already had. I don't want to pay you so much money. Let me go to the next one. Oops. Okay. I don't want to get pre-qualified until I find the house that I want. You guys are going to notice a lot of these kind of work together, and yet I'm arming you with the right objection handlers so that you know exactly what to say and how to say it. So I don't want to get pre-qualified until I find the house that I want. So what I would say is, I totally understand that when you get pre-qualified for a house, it's a lot of work, right? I understand that, you're going to have to get tax returns and talk to your boss and get your letter, and it's going to be a little bit time consuming. And, the thing is though, the market's moving really quickly, and you already sent me 4 houses that you've seen online that you really liked. And I'll be honest with you, we're still in a really competitive market here in California or Nebraska or like wherever you're in, right? We're in a competitive market. Or if it's not super competitive, like multiple average, you can say the market's moving here. The market's moving pretty quickly. And so what that means is that so what we're doing today is we're sitting down, because it's assuming you guys are in your, so I can give you 2 options. One, if they're like an online lead, and one if you're in a buyer consult. So if they're an online lead, I totally understand that, you're online right now and you're looking at properties and you know exactly what you're looking to purchase, and you don't want to get pre-qualified till you find the house you want. The problem is, I'm sure as you're seeing online, you look at a house and a few days later the house is gone. It's already gone pending. Well, it's because we're in a competitive market. So the problem of waiting and to get pre-qualified is it can take, a couple days to get your pre-qualification letter. And, what I would suggest is, if you're waiting too long, you're going to miss out on those properties. Now, when you get your documentation together and you talk to one of my preferred lenders, they're actually going to shop all the banks to get you the lowest interest rate. So what you can do is you can sit down with one of my lenders or do it over the phone. And what they're going to do is they're going to get all your documentation together, get you a pre-qualification letter, and that's going to be good for about 6 months. So, it's a one-time thing you have to do in this process, and it makes it so when you find that perfect house, you absolutely can purchase it. If you wait until you find the house you want to buy, most likely it's going to be gone before you get your stuff together, because houses are going pretty quickly in the market right now. I mean, you're seeing this online, so obviously you know that this is what's happening. My job is to get you the perfect house, so I want to make sure that I can do that for you. And then, so that's an online lead. If you're in a buyer consult, what I would say to them is, I've already set up for you your custom portal. So when you go home tonight, you're gonna be able to see the houses that are on the market that suit your criteria. And honestly, what's gonna happen is you're gonna see the house. Like, it might be not today, it might be tomorrow, it might be next week, but you're gonna see the house you wanna go visit and potentially purchase. It might be the dream home you've been looking for. But if you're not, oops, sorry, I've got a contact issue. Sorry, guys. Woo. Oops, sorry, one second. Okay, I can see again. But if you're not prepped and pre-qualified and we don't have your approval letter ready, we're gonna have no chance of getting you that offer accepted, because we are in a competitive market right now and houses are going really quickly. So let's do the right thing. Let me have my preferred lender give you a call. They're going to have a very casual conversation with you, but what's really cool about it is they're going to shop all the banks to get you the lowest interest rate, even up to the day you close. I work with them, I trust them, and this is about you. So I want to make sure you know that I've got your back in this process. All right, let's go on to the next one. Okay. So I'm going to wait until I find a house and then I'll call you. So I'm going to wait till I find the right house and then I'll call you. So a lot of times, right, like they don't want to sign an exclusive buyer broker representation. They're just kind of like, they're not as much of a hurry, right? And so what I say to them is, all right, Joe, I totally understand you want to find the house that you want to purchase and then you're going to call me. And, obviously my job is to work with you around your schedule to get you your dream home. But right now, the thing is, the market's moving pretty quickly. And when you find the house you want to purchase, what we need to do is we're going to want to sit down and we're going to go over the home buying process from A to Z. We're going to talk about the costs that you're going to incur. We're going to talk about what the timeline for buying a house, and the different parties that are involved. You know, because if this is the first time you're purchasing a house, or fifth time, doesn't matter, you know, some things have changed in the market a little bit. So we're going to want to sit down and do a consultation, talk about what the home buying process is like, and we're going to need to get your approval letter from the lender. And sometimes that can take, if it's a really good lender, they can do it in about 24 to 48 hours. But depending upon, you know, if you have a lender you want to work with, or if you're open to working with one of my preferred lenders, it can take a few days. And right now, you know, if you see a house you like on the market, I don't know, have you looked online at all? And I'm like, yeah, I've looked a little bit. Okay, so when you look online, you're gonna notice that there's quite a few houses that go pretty quickly. Well, that's what's happening in this market. You know, my concern is if you wait to find the right house and then you call me, we're gonna lose out on this opportunity of finding you the dream home, because it's going to be gone before you even get there. So let's do the right thing. Let's get you first off, let's get you pre-qualified, because the other thing is, it would be the worst thing ever is you see a house, you fall in love with it, it's the home, we want to get it for you, and maybe it's a little more than you're comfortable paying that monthly payment. Now, I don't want to say you can't afford it, because that's insulting to them. So what I say is, maybe it's a little more of a monthly payment than you're comfortable paying, and we're not going to know that until you're pre-qualified. So the best thing we can do is, you know, I don't even want you out there searching online, because online is a scary place and it's not always accurate. What I would think would be a much better plan is for us to sit down, get you pre-qualified. We can create a custom portal for you with only the houses you're interested in. So we'll talk about the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the square footage, if you want a big kitchen, if you want that man cave, right? So I want to make this about you. And then instead of you doing all the hard work, looking online and scouring, let me work for you. I'll actually preview a lot of these properties, and I'm going to help find you your perfect home. And then what we can do is, when you get that portal, you're going to save all the houses that you like, and anything that you're interested in seeing, I'm going to be able to take you and view that property. However, if we just wait until you find the house you want to see, we're behind the ball. We have to get you pre-qualified. We have to sit down and talk about the home buying process. And I don't want you to feel rushed. I don't want you to feel stressed. And sometimes if we wait till the last minute, that's exactly how you're going to feel. So let's do the right thing. Does Tuesday next week for you work at 2 o'clock, or is Thursday better? And then again, so this is the thing, you guys, you are the professional. You're in the driver's seat. These people don't know what they're talking about, right? They want to buy a house, but they're not sure how. And they're like, I'll just wait. I'm not going to get a lender. Like, I don't know. I'll just figure it out. But you guys have to remember that it's your job to be a professional. It's your job to be on top of things. Sorry, we're dog sitting right now. My director of sales is out, so we're watching his dog right now, who should be stopping barking really soon here. Okay. So next one, I want a really good deal. So let's offer 50,000 below asking. Hold on really quick, you guys. I'm just gonna open the door. I'm doing a webinar, so I'm gonna go back in. You're good. Okay, sorry about that, you guys. My sweet papa's here to break down boxes, my father-in-law, from like all the baby stuff we've been getting. Okay, so I want a good deal, so let's offer 50,000 below asking. It's my favorite, you guys. It's totally my favorite. I love when people say this one to me. So I want a good deal. Let's go 50,000 below asking. Okay. You know, Mr. Buyer, I totally understand how you feel, because anybody would want a really good deal in this market. And what I will tell you is, you know, when I looked at that property, what my job is to make sure that I can get you the best deal we can on the market. So I actually pulled comparables on the property. So what I did is I went on the market and I looked at anything that is selling or has sold comparable to this house by bedroom, bathroom, square footage, lot size, and condition. Very similar to what the listing agent probably did when they listed this house. The thing is, this house is listed properly. It's actually right in the market where it should be. And my concern is, you really like this house, right? Like, yeah, I really like it. And I totally know you want a good deal on the property. But if we offer 50,000 below asking, that does a couple things. One, it's insulting to that seller. And so they might even not even look at our offer because it's so far below where the house is actually worth. So they might not even consider your offer. So it's not only wasting their time, but it's wasting your time as well. And I'm saying this to him, but I'm also like, P.S. You're also wasting my time. We're not doing this. But I don't say that. And then what I say is, and then the thing is too, when you're offering so low, we want to make sure they take you seriously. And if you really like this house, I'm concerned that number one, you're going to not get your offer even considered. Number two, you're going to insult that seller. Number three, you're not going to get the house. And number four, there's going to be other houses you like on the market. And if this agent sees one of our offers come through, or someone in their office does and they know, they're going to be like, don't take their offer. They're not serious. They're lowballing us. So let's do the right thing. Let's offer competitively on this property, because we want to make sure you have a chance of getting the property. And 50,000 under asking, well, I totally understand wanting a deal. I mean, that's not going to get you this property. So I'm really honest with them, because I'm like, look, and then the other thing, you guys, for you to know is it can damage your reputation in the industry, and you only get one reputation. So if someone's wanting to super lowball, you have to protect yourself, because you can't let them do that. At the end of the day, you are representing the buyer. So if they're super insistent that they want to offer 50,000 below asking, you can do it. Like I just had a talk with one of my agents yesterday morning about her wanting to have a client lowball. And I said, if you've gone through your scripts and they will not listen to you and they really want to go lower, then what I want you to do is I want you to reach out to that listing agent ahead of time and give them a heads up and say, hey, Karen, this is Rachel Adams Lee with Keller Williams. I just want to let you know I have an offer coming over. It's definitely below asking, and I do not want to insult you. Obviously you're a great agent and I totally respect you and your seller. And you also know that it's our job to represent our buyer. So I'm submitting this over. I understand whatever you need to do. If you can give us the courtesy of a counter, that's amazing. And if your seller's not comfortable with that, please just share with me why, so that I can give that feedback to my buyer. Because sometimes your buyers need the pain. They need the pain of losing out on a house, so that they can feel like, oh, I probably should have listened to her. Like, this is probably a really good idea. And yeah, I mean, this is the thing. When you're working with buyers, they just sometimes are uneducated. Like sometimes they just don't know what they don't know. And those are some of the main objection handlers that I get. So I wanted to help you guys overcome them. If you have any questions, or if you have an objection that your buyer has not, you can't overcome, or you haven't overcome, put them in the comment section right now so I can address that for you. And then besides that, if you guys want to connect with me, you guys know I'm really big on social media. 3 years ago, we sold 23 houses from social media. Year before last was, 62. And last year was 117 referrals just from social media. So I totally welcome you to watch my social media channels. And I always say R&D, rip off and duplicate. If there's something I have that you want, it is all yours. Please take a look at it. Just make sure you tag me so I know something I did made an impact on you. But you can find me, Rachel Adams Lee, on Instagram, Facebook, as well as YouTube. And then also one thing that's really fun is this is just kind of a little taste of getting to work with me. So I'm a MAPS coach, and I have a really neat program called From Limited to Legendary, your fast track to becoming a top 1,000 agent. So this is a 10-session webinar series, you guys. And basically, each webinar you get is 30 to 60 minutes, and it's pre-recorded. So you get self-paced, which means you get to work on it when you're ready. And you get a workbook to download while you are watching the videos. So you download your workbook, you watch your video, and then we also have a private Facebook mastermind group where you guys get to plug in, hang out with me, and we get to talk all things. So the first 15 minutes is usually me coaching live on something I'm going through, because I'm in listings, right? So I'm still in the business with you guys, like feet on the ground. And then the last 30 to 45 minutes, it's your business. It's what you're going through. If you're like, I'm ready to hire my first assistant, what does that look like? Or I have my first luxury listing appointment. How do I go about that? And then I coach you in real time on what you're going through. So it's a group program with a one-on-one feel. And right now for you guys watching, it is $299. So it's basically free. You're welcome. That's like a teeny part of a transaction. And you get to coach with me. So basically you get access to the videos for 6 months, and you get coaching with me. We have all the dates already booked through the end of December. But if you go to limited2legendary.com, you guys can find out more information about that. We address a custom database campaign, how to build your business through social media. We actually go through the entire buying process. So like, how do you actually get your offer accepted and go through the buyer process, buyer consultation? And then how do you do the listing consultation? What does that look like? Listing objection handlers, just kind of like we just did with buyers, we do it with listings as well. We have a full session just on how to rebrand your business, how marketing should look for your business, personal growth, hiring. It's super duper fun, and it's $299, and you can sign up today for that pricing and get right into the group, and then you actually can go back. I have 4 years, you guys, of live coaching sessions, and you can go back and you can literally just hang out with me for the next 6 years. That's how long it will take you to watch them. Okay, so besides that, that's really all I have for you guys today. If anybody has any questions, I would be super happy to help answer them for you. But if not, I wish you the best rest of your day. Thank you so much for tuning in today with me this morning. And I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week and a great weekend. And I will be taking care of this little belly of mine because I'm gonna have a kid soon. That's so crazy. Okay, do we have any questions that has popped up that you guys want me to address? Let me see. Okay, I have one question that says, what if the buyer has a home to sell but still wants to wait until the perfect home comes on the market in a low inventory market? Okay, that's a really good question. I'm actually going to screenshot that question because I'm going to add that to my list. Great question. Okay, so Amanda, question was, if a buyer has a home to sell but still wants to wait until the perfect home comes on the market in a low inventory market, what do you do? Okay, so what I would say is, so the buyer, I totally understand that you want to wait to put your house on the market until you find the perfect home, because, inventory is really low right now. The thing is, if you find the perfect house that you want to put an offer on and your house isn't on the market, we pretty much have no shot at getting the property. So what I would suggest we do is, so this is the thing. When you offer on a property, especially in a low inventory market, they're looking for the best, most clean offer that they possibly can get. And if they want to offer, if you find the house you want to offer on, they're going to ask you for your MLS number, because they want to know your house is on the market. They're going to ask you when your open houses are. They're going to want to see the product that you're putting on the market if they're even going to consider your offer. The problem is, if we wait to put your house on the market and you're offering blind, they're like, how much is your house going to sell for? When are you putting on the market? What does this look like? And we're like, oh, well, as soon as you accept our offer, we'll put it on the market. They're like, I don't think so. That's not going to work for me. So what I would suggest is, let's sit down and talk about selling your house, what it could go for realistically in this market. So we have 2 options in this process. Number 1, we are going to take all your marketing photos, right? We're going to have your house totally ready to go on the market. And then as soon as you find the house you want to offer on, we're going to hit play. We're going to put you on the market. We're going to get your offer. We're going to submit an offer, and we're going to be able to submit to them your listing information and show them how solid your how solid your listing is. We have open houses scheduled for the weekend. We're ready to go. Because you're already going to be selling your house contingent, right, or purchasing that house contingent upon selling yours. And that already puts us in a little bit of a different situation than, say, someone who's just ready to purchase and doesn't have to sell their house in order to purchase. Well, I want to put you in the strongest position you possibly can be in. So we need to have your house completely ready to go. We need to have photos ready. So all we have to do is hit play and you get your offer accepted. So we have 2 options here. We can either put it on the market now, and we can, what I would suggest is we put your house on the market now. We create this custom portal for you so that you know all the houses that are out there. I don't want to leave you to Zillow. I don't want to leave you online looking for yourself. I want you to be able to be proactive about this, right? So we're going to put your house on the market. And then when you find the house you want to offer on, we're going to be able to offer with your house on the market, hopefully already in contract. But now this is the thing. I'm not going to leave you homeless. So if we get the perfect buyer who's ready to purchase your home, we're going to counter them that you will sell your house contingent upon you finding your perfect replacement home. So I'm not going to leave you homeless. I am going to make sure that my job here is to protect you and your money. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. So we can get your house ready, we can put you on the market, and we can start looking for your perfect dream home. And anybody who offers on your house, we're just going to counter them accordingly that you need to find the right house in order to sell your home to them. You won't be homeless. Or we don't have your house on the market right now, but as soon as you find the house you want to offer on, boom, all we have to do is hit play and you're ready to go. Because my job is to sell your house and net you the most money I possibly can and help you find your perfect dream home to have that next chapter of your life. Okay, I hope that helped you, Amanda. Let's see. Leslie just says, thank you. You're so sweet. Good luck with the baby. Let's see. Amanda, oh, good question, Alyssa. I'm going to screenshot that one too. So she said, what about the buyers that are 50-50 torn between buying or renting? That's an awesome question, Alyssa. You guys are helping me add this in. This is great. So what about buyers that are 50-50 torn between buying or renting? So Mr. Buyer, Mr. Client, right? You're going to be a buyer. You just don't know it yet. You know, this is the thing. I totally understand, you know, it's a big commitment to purchase a home. And, you know, sometimes you might feel more comfortable renting. The thing is, you might be able to purchase your own home for less than you're paying someone else's mortgage right now. So what we can do is, you know, when you're renting a house, you're obviously paying month after month after month, and you are having a place to live, but you're not actually putting your money towards anything because someone else owns that home. What we can do for you is we can actually just have you do a really low-key phone call where you can speak to one of my preferred lenders. They're going to shop all the banks to get you the absolute lowest interest rate. And then what can happen is we can see how much you're qualified for a home, because maybe you actually could qualify for a house right now and pay less in your own mortgage than you are renting someone else's house. And then you could be a homeowner here in California or whatever state you're in, right? And if it doesn't work out, if the numbers don't make you comfortable, then you don't move forward. At the end of the day, I want to do what's in the best interest of you. So we can get you pre-qualified to see if you can purchase a house. And if the timing is right, I'm going to help you find your dream home. And if it's not, then you can rent as long as you want. I just want to make sure that you're in the right position, because I mean, I tell you what, the home ownership is one of the most magical things you can possibly have. And I just want to make sure that I do what's in the best interest of you. Good? All right. Okay, you sweet people. Everyone's just thanking me so much. Thank you for my time. Amanda, Kathy, Edna, thank you so much. You are so wonderful, you guys. I love getting to hang out with you. Do me a favor, if you're watching this right now, take a screenshot on social media, take a screenshot of what we're doing, and then post it on Instagram or Facebook and share with me that you just got to hang out with me doing a webinar talking buyer objection handlers. Share with me your favorite takeaway. I love to know that something I'm doing is making an impact on you. So if you guys would take a screenshot, got the hair ready, and if you're open to coaching, I'd love to be able to coach with you. If you go to limitedtolegendary.com, $299, and I'm super excited to get to hang out with you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good rest of your day.